WrestleZone coming to you live here on Facebook, YouTube, and beyond with some unfortunate news today on a Friday afternoon, shortly before SmackDown goes on the air on Fox TV. This is an unfortunate headline to read. Zelina Vega released by WWE this afternoon under some, obviously, circumstances that fans are already raging about online. So let's get to the nitty-gritty here. From WrestleZone.com, we just updated this a little bit ago. WWE has released Zelina Vega, saying simply, WWE has come to the terms on the release of Zelina Vega. In a statement, we wish her well and best in her future endeavors. We wish her all the best in her future endeavors. That line that we hear so many times when WWE superstars are cut from their contract. Prior to the release announcement, Vega tweeted, I support unionization, Vega said on her WWE-branded Twitter account. This move also comes after Vega opened an OnlyFans account for her cosplay photos. No new content was included, though the platform is known to be used by sex workers for that type of content. WWE recently stopped talent from profiting off third-party platforms such as Twitter and Cameo. Vega was critical of the move at the time, and WWE noted those in violation of its new policy were subject to termination. This is a tweet that came out at 4:46 Central Time, and was and the terms of her contract being cut were done several hours within that time frame after it, not soon after. Excuse me. Vega is the wife of fellow WWE superstar Aleister Black and had previously managed on-screen Andrade and Angel Garza until they were recently split up. She previously worked for Impact Wrestling and had a tour of duty on the independent circuit as well. We will keep you abreast on this story as it develops. It is certainly a developing one. We can confirm that Zelina Vega has already posted that you can see her on Twitch soon. So she will be launching a Twitch account yet again. And obviously the response to this is pretty quick. Some people think we have Daniel Miller saying, I think her husband is next. Well, I don't know about that, Daniel. We don't know if that's exactly a thing here. People responding to this news live in real time. Getting into wrestling. My husband and I love together NWE wrestling. Oh, thank you for getting into wrestling. This is the time, man. A lot of content. You're gonna be at home a lot more now with quarantine coming on us all again. Wow. Christopher saying, wow, so shocked. She will be a champion. Yes. People think at some point she will win it here. People already speculating that Aleister Black will ask for his release to get out of the company. People already saying that story. We don't know that. We simply don't know that. You have other couples where one person is in WWE and another person who performed in WWE is not. People are actively still going for whatever they need to do on television. And other people chiming in here about certain tweets that she's putting out, demanding that people not watch SmackDown or Raw. And you can talk to WWE with your wallet. This is Zelina Vega. And wow, what a situation. Nick Fun said she can always manage to go to AEW. Well, I mean, if unionization is the issue here, does WWE want, or just would AEW want that real problem? Do they want somebody who's going to be that? And I'm not saying it's a problem if somebody wants to unionize. I'm not claiming that. This is a pretty serious disagreement, and I think people are going to have their own take on it. Kyle already saying someone will sign her, Impact or AEW. Zach Morton saying, having an OnlyFans account will for sure get you fired by WWE. Well, here's the thing, Zach. I mean, there's no adult content on this. This was cosplay photos. This is something she's been doing on social media for quite some time. She is, as we could see, somebody who wanted to work with a third party, and WWE doesn't want their contracted superstars doing that. So that's kind of where the story stands here. But I like the instantaneous reaction. If you guys are with us for the first time, don't forget to turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. So you can get our post shows for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, and pay-per-views and more. And then we also put all those in our podcast. Search WrestleZone on your podcast app of choice. John Dean saying, glad she got released. Who does she think she is? Standing up for performers' rights, healthcare, and ethical standards. Good riddance. I think I can see some passive aggressiveness there, John, but I understand some people will be upset about this. Laura Rock saying, does she have a no-compete clause? Well, I've talked to other people that have been released by WWE, and those no-compete clauses sometimes vary, and they vary based on the time. Most of the time, they tend to be 90 days. and they can limit the time in which you can go and perform for another company that WWE can see as competition. So yes, no compete clause. I don't want to assume that she has one, but I mean, common belief and the common protocol that WWE has with business moves like this, that they indeed have no compete clauses. But don't make a complete assumption, right? We don't know that for a fact. Stephen McKenzie saying more superstars go to AEW or Impact after leaving WWE. I mean, Impact is a viable choice out there. The Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Doc Gallows, as he is known now. We just did an interview with him about Talkin' Shopomania, their own comedy pay-per-view. It's going to be airing tonight as well on Fight.tv. They went to Impact. They seemed very, very happy there, very, very clear about that. They were part of the crop of people that were released in the spring. I don't know if this is just one person being released or we'll see more releases. Now, it doesn't seem like that's the case. On the surface, it seems like this is a business disagreement, and that is why this is being done. Here's the thing. I don't know enough about this complete story to come and editorialize and have an opinion on it. On the surface, though, I can see where some people are rushing to make their own judgments about it. If you're with us live, your comments matter. We're trying to get them on screen as soon as the story comes in here. Daniel Mills, I'm waiting for Charlotte to be fired. Well, Daniel, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Everyone, and I don't root for someone to lose their job. Come on, no, you don't have to do that. Lee Bourne saying, in my opinion, Impact would be a big step backward. AEW would be better, would be best for her. I'd love to see her there. Well, there's been a lot of people critical of how All Elite Wrestling has presented their women recently. A lot of fans have said that. I think that's a sentiment that several fans hold, that they like AEW, but they don't think they do the best job presenting female performers, or at least the most viable version of what they can do. And people already fantasy booking her as a manager for Pentagon and Ray Phoenix. Are they even a team still? We'll see what's going on. Jason Michael Campbell excited about other business moves, including that MLW is making a move to Pluto TV. Yeah, big move for them. They have a lot of streaming partners right now, a lot of content partners. MLW outside of the frame of thought that people think since they've been shut down for so long here. And people noting this is right before the last pay-per-view. And we also have other fans saying, bring her back. Bring her back. Bring back Zelina Vega. She just got released and they already want her to come back. So she has her fans. Here's the thing, guys. I mean, maybe she does come back to WWE. It's always a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen right now. I don't think you get released and then come right back. There have been people that have been released and then come back to WWE shortly after under some odd circumstances. I remember Tennille Dashwood. She played Emma. And there was some confusion about when she left a big box convenience store and whether or not she paid for something, and there was a tag on it, and some people tried to say she stole it and she didn't, and there was some confusion. She was released by WWE and then quickly rehired it was very odd circumstances. But I don't think this is that case on the surface, at least. Other people with different takes. If you're with us watching on demand as well, don't be afraid to chime in. Let us know what you guys think of this story. And don't forget to turn those notifications on for all of our live videos. Check us out on YouTube. We have a bunch of different shows covering all the different TV this week, as well as an exclusive interview with John Rymett. He is the former WWE writer and former Tonight Show writer. And he talks to us about working directly with Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and Paul Heyman with the WWE creative processes. That is up right now. Check it out. James Stevens says, wonder when Mike Rome will be the next. He was on Twitch. Mike Rome, WWE announcer. Yeah, so I wonder if he's affected by that, if he's under a WWE superstar contract, has a different contract under those deals. I would assume he's contracted as a talent. People saying maybe it's because of COVID-19. I don't think that's the case. If it was COVID-19, I think that would be kept a little bit more quiet. That tends to be the protocol that WWE superstars have here with COVID-19. They don't talk about it until they're done with it or at some level of clearance with it. Jay Feliciano says, do you guys see this as a statement by WWE Brass being that this is an example? Could they lead to more releases? Well, the debate between WWE superstars having these third-party distribution channels and WWE coming down on them has been pretty heavy. And I understand where a lot of people side with fans. And I'm not saying I side with WWE. It's just in the modern age when you're not doing live events, and you're not putting out superstars on the road for house shows and touring, and then through that doing branded events with sponsors, I understand where then you can kind of get a different perspective of things and see that your contracted talent is then working with their name through WWE. You know, we've heard it all, and this has been a big debate. A lot of people are very angry about this that are fans of the individual talent. Think that they should be able to, as a contracted superstar under their legal name, go and do this. Other people say, well, let them do it as their TV name. If that's Zelina Vega, let her go and be on Twitch and all these different things where you can get a subscription base and do that. You heard Paige, who's contracted to WWE still, as far as we know, be very, very critical of this move of her Twitch being kind of had pressure on it. And she's been public about that, and that, you know, she can't perform in the ring, and this is the thing that she can do outside of that now. And she isn't even used as an on-screen character at the moment. So I sympathize with both sides of this. I understand the business reasons behind it, and that if you have superstars out there going and doing a cameo, and you still want to do your own virtual meet and greets with a price point tied to it, and then this person's selling cameos, it's why? What are we doing there? There's a conflict there. As a conflict as well with business partners. There's a conflict with business partners because you had before this, in the past few years, you had WWE doing live streams directly with a sponsor. And so if that's the direction that media is going in, and mind you, this could be going in that direction with or without the pandemic, with or without that live event stuff. And then what happens if you come back out of the pandemic? You weren't limiting what your superstars can do on these third-party apps. And then you go back out there and we're trying to sign up all these different events, and we're trying to license and brand WWE and bring our superstars, the greatest part of what our show is our superstars and our fans, and get them together. And why would a cell phone company, for example, why would we do a meet and greet at a cell phone company when the same superstar is doing this on Cameo? So I understand where this is coming at, and that has always kind of been my stance. I understand and sympathize with the performers at the same time if this is impacting them financially, and they're trying to do their own independent thing, yet still do it under the banner, and now the rules have changed. So it's challenging. It's very, very challenging. And then there's this other point now where WWE will do that, but it's going to be a part of your downside guarantees, what we've heard. So it's all very moving, fluid thing that has a lot of impact on a lot of different people at the same time on both sides of the issue. So that is where things stand. Thank you for checking out this news flash video for you guys here. Once again, if you're with us on YouTube or Facebook, make sure your notification's on. With YouTube, like and subscribe, turn the notification on ding so you know exactly when we go live. And then for Facebook, there's an extra little hoop that Mr. Zuckerberg and company want you to do. You like our page on Facebook, and then you have to follow. So then you get those notifications as well. And that's how you can jump into these chats and get your comments on screen. We're also available on podcast, Apple, Spotify, all those good things. You can get these podcasts on all the different apps. A bunch of exclusive content on there, hours of content. We have a Patreon. Speaking of all these different apps where you can subscribe and get extra content, we have a Patreon worth of content for free. We do not have a paywall at the moment. So if you really want to jump in there and get it, go ahead and do it. And I don't think at any point right now that we're going in that direction. So you have hours and hours of free stuff from great people like Dominic D'Angelo, Two Dynamite Dudes with Attitudes, our AEW focus show. We're going to have the SmackDown Double Down later on tonight into Saturday morning. We'll have pay-per-view post shows just like this with your comments coming up on screen. All right. And you're all in the club that is WrestleZone. You're on the virtual couch. Thank you guys for checking out this breaking news video. Go ahead and tag your friends, share it, pass it on. And remember, despite today's news, which is, kind of a bummer, you can always remember to enjoy wrestling.